Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So none of us really know the future. None of us can divine what's going to happen next, but I think most of us in our teeny tiny little niche, much smaller niche than it was a few years ago in fandom here in our Doctor Who fandom, I think we're standing at a fork in the road, right? We can go one way or other. Basically, we're waiting to see what Russell T Davies we are going to get, right? That's the essential thing. What Russell T Davies are we going to get with this new take on Doctor Who? So, listen, I'm very encouraged. that Russell T Davies is coming back at all. I think there's a huge admission of failure, and the stuff coming out from the current production team, from Matt Stevens over the last week, from the Gallifreyan, is just so insane. They didn't know he was coming back till the day before. It sounds to me that Rusty Davies has nothing but hatred and disdain for everything that Chibnall's done. I think, and it's not really just his massive incompetence. It's the damage that he's done to the brand, and I think by extension feels like Rusty Davies done to him personally, right? I really genuinely, that's the vibe I'm getting. But that's my bias, right? That's my bias. There are much less now, okay? A lot less, but there used to be a lot more crazy people who just anything that this era did was the bestest ever, who say, no, he loves the Timeless Child because he one time didn't vomit when somebody mentioned it near him, right? Or something like that. And so, and he had that big speech at a LGBTQ plus award saying that, no, we need the T people. Now, generally speaking, the LGBTQ Alliance, you have the LGBT people who are not universally on board with the T and on. Okay, they're not. I think it's fair to say, right? I think it's fair to say that speech he gave was very, 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 very pointedly saying, no, I am of the opinion that I like the T people, which kind of puts him in the same. A tribe. I'm going to use the word because we live in tribalism. Same tribe as the Chris Chibnalls of the world. So what Russell T Davies are we getting, right? Nerderotic really thinks the damage has been done. It will never come back. And moreover, Russell T Davies is not the person to bring it. And I got several viewers thinking exactly the same thing. What Russell T Davies are we going to get? So there was quite surprisingly, a pretty good article on radiotimes.com. I know, you wouldn't have expected it, would you? So it took me by surprise as well. Really diving into the new Rusty Davies here and talking about what he may do and what he may not do. And I think it's going to be quite a good springboard for the discussion. We're going to go through it together. We may take the piss, okay? That might happen. It's a fair bet, isn't it? Let's be fair. It's a fair bet. We may well take the piss. Like, share, subscribe. That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm very, very, very appreciative of anybody liking, sharing, subscribing. I'm very, very appreciative of it indeed. So like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. And this is again, we're not really gonna know until it airs. But boy, we're gonna know when they announce the new Doctor, aren't they? I mean, which it does sound to me like David Tennant is getting more and more likely now for whatever they're planning, because we don't know. We know a special and a series, right? We really don't know what they're planning at all. It sounds to me like he wants to do something really revolutionary. And last time we heard that, we got Chris Chibnall. So I don't know. Rusty Davies has an impeccable track record of excellence. So I keep going backwards and forwards on it either way. Let me know what you think, because again, we are, my outlook is like this. Until we have a reason not to, why not be optimistic? Why not hope, right? And I guess the answer is because you don't want to be hurt, right? That's what happened if you open yourself to hope. You may well get yourself hurt. I'm ready for it, baby. Okay, that's where I am. I'm sorry. I try and be more practical. I'm not. I'm not. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Subscribe to my Substack. I put awesome stuff out on my Substack. Substack is an email newsletter. I put comic books out on it. I put vintage comic books out on it that are out of print, like the Blake Seville ones. I've been putting out the out of print Virgin New Adventure Doctor Who novels as well. And I have a paid one where I put out other stuff, like more exclusive stuff. Hopefully today. Hopefully, I said that yesterday, but hopefully today's the day when I start getting content out to my paid subscribers, and I hang my head in shame. Okay, I do. I hang my head in shame when I say I'm recording this on Wednesday, so I think this is probably going out on Saturday. Fine. Let's have a look at this article. If you're on Rumble, hit the Rumble button, baby. We like a bit of Rumble. Rusty Davies might have already told us his Doctor Who plans. I think he probably has. I mean, look, Rusty Davies isn't somebody who normally keeps his light under a bushel. Isn't normally circumspect about what he's thinking. He strikes me as somebody who just wants to communicate with you totally all the time, right? Which is essentially what his book, The Writer's Tale, was, right? It was just just him talking, right? And I do like him talking. He's always an interesting talker. The former and future showrunner, once and future king, revealed to a host of unused ideas after he left the sci-fi series. Anyone for Judi Dench, an unusual companion, creepy alien hostels, and Russell Tovey's Doctor. Russell Tovey's a name that hasn't been mentioned much. Not a bad guess. Also, I think. What's it called again? Brother of mine. Great actor. Really good actor. Was in The Brave New World, which I really liked it. Other people didn't. But what's the name of that guy? Okay, we're looking it up. How do I get to a new window? I normally get... Oh, here, one second. Is that it? What's this? New tab. We'll go new tab. Is that where's my new tab then? I just clicked it, and now I'm getting a whizzy wheel. While I was like, what is that guy's name? Also in Counterpart. There we go. So we'll do Brave New World. What was it? 2020 cast. Hopefully it's 2020. Maybe it was 29. Nah, I think it was 2020. Wasn't 2021. Was it? Could have been. Could be. Something will come up, right? They'll let us know something. Come on, Brave New World, let us know. Anyway, he likes him. Whenever it opens up, fine. We'll read the article. I'll come back to it as it's open. Rusty Davies is the master of reusing and recycling ideas. Master of it. I think he's doesn't like to waste anything. Oh, here it is. Just now it opened up about. No, it bloody didn't. Really? Okay, fine. Yes. It's Harry Lloyd. I think Harry, because he really liked Harry Lloyd, he said that he would be a great Doctor when he was in Family of Blood and what's that one? Human Nature. Right, so he wasn't researching like I think why would you throw something away? What exactly? Like I could use that again. Very good. Yes, that's a smart man. Most obviously, he's fond of casting actors from projects Project Past for leading roles in newer work. Most notably, Christopher Eccleston starred in Second Coming, and David Tennant in Casanova before joining Doctor Who, which is why I watched Casanova. Honestly, okay, Rusty Davies works by what's on his mind at the time, right? And if he's got Christopher Eccleston on his mind at the time, he has Christopher Eccleston on his mind at the time. Same with David Tennant, but is also prone to holding on to and breathing new life into ideas he first came up with after he first came up with them. Mind of Hodiak, a great example. The Colin Baker, Bonnie Langford story that he wrote years and years ago, a spec script, now is being made, coming out next month. Looking forward to it. This is a skill he found particularly useful during his first Doctor Who run, taking monsters like the Toclafane, conceptualized as an alternative to the Daleks back in July 2004, and later re-established them in their own right as Masters Metallic Menaces. Why wouldn't you? Let's come up with somebody who would replace the Daleks, and that's essentially a cyborg. They're different, but I can see a lot of the similarities with them, right? And differently, but yeah, similarities and differences. But why wouldn't you use them? Although they did seem a bit stale by the time we saw them, though, didn't they? It's weird, but they did. Even small details like names are reworked. Adonna originally appeared in Queer as Folk, with the name being unconsciously resampled by Davies without him even realizing. And who was the before he got Catherine Tate? What was he going to call that companion? I don't know. I know the family in the center of Damaged Goods, the New Adventures novel, when also the Big Finish adaptation of it, were called the Tylers, like the Rose Tylers. Like he knew that commander's name was Rose before anything else. That's the first thing he revealed anyway, and I watched everything like a hawk. Now with David's surprise return to Doctor Who looming, everyone's searching for potential clues as to RTD's approach to a second run. Yes! Which RTD are we getting? Right? Yes, we are searching for that. And unusually, the acclaimed screenwriter might have given us a pretty good idea of what he's planning, thanks to a little book called The Writer's Tale, which I've read both versions of, and they're both very, very good. Oh, man, I just filled that up before I started this video. I am so thirsty this morning. You know why? I'll tell you exactly why, okay? My wife bought take-home from she works in Jerusalem now, where there's a lot more restaurants she goes by. And we only have, like, one kid or two kids staying at home now. And so she's like, making dinner's a bit of a drag. I keep telling her, I'll make dinner if you want. It's not a big deal. Like, I like doing stuff like that. But no. Which reminds me, I've got to put my to-do list. I want to make my own beef jerky. We got this thing called an actor fry, right? We got it as a Hanukkah present for the family. It's like this air fryer, but it does incredible things. It has a dehydration mode, so I want to make my own beef jerky in it. Ew. How do we go? Oh, yeah, so my wife was getting dinner, right? My wife wanted to get takeout for dinner from this Italian place, and she asked me if I wanted anything. I said, not really. I had something I was planning on eating anyway. Maybe they had a salad, and the salads there were like a freaking fortune. She's like, really? You want to spend it? I'm like, no, I don't. And then she said, oh, look, they got this potatoes gratin. Would you like that? I'm like, nah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. So she got it for herself, right? And I figure by the time she gets about an hour and a half to get home. By the time I get home, it'll be soggy. I'm not interested anyway. She came home, and this thing was the takeout was in like a good foil pan, like a foil, like, and she left half of it, right? She went, do you want to try it? I'm like, sure. Best freaking potato gratin I've ever had, right? It was a bit salty, which is probably why I'm drinking a lot. So, but it was so good. Oh my god. She gets from there again. I really shouldn't, but it was so good. Oh my god. Fine. I digress. I was remembering that very good 2 mouthfuls of potato gratin I had last night. Oh my god, so good. Okay, as I said, it clues on what he's going to be doing at Writer's Tale. The Writer's Tale is a term of correspondence between Davies and Doctor Who magazine contributor Benjamin Cook. Great book. Benji Cook, bit of an arsehole. I mean, in my opinion, he was a bit of an arsehole to me, and to a lot of people. Like, I don't know if he still does this, right? But there's a few people. Apparently, Jonathan Blum was like this as well on Gallifrey base. That they just consider themselves the arbiter of morality and reality. Right, and they just got to shut you down. That's why they love using their power. So anyway, he was raging about, I don't know why it was even on my timeline, he was raging about how some women don't like women with penises, which is the way we got to say it nowadays, in like their locker rooms, or what was exclusively fiancé. What's wrong with it? And so I said, no, but they said with trans women instead of. So I replied, because I said, I believe some women don't like having women with penises around them, even female penises, and that just drove him insane. Like, he went on a tear. So then he got one of my videos and edited all the bits of me like raging, and goes, you're nearly 50. So that, to which I pointed out, yeah, you're right, I'm nearly 50. I own my house. I have had a successful career and business. I got wonderful children, a stable marriage. My life is really good. My life is really, really good. What I can tell of your Twitter feed, Ben, mate. What I can tell of it, you're over 40. You're single, you don't have any kids, and you've achieved far less in your life. With far more opportunity. You talented writer and was in the right place at the right time to have an incredible career, and you've done nothing, right? You're still living in Camden Town, thinking that I used to go to Camden when I went to school. Still living in Camden Town, which was cool when you're 20. When you're 40, it's kind of pathetic. And he didn't like that much. He didn't like that much. Don't ain't shame me. Dude, you were just... Anyway, that's the sort of... And then he blocked me. But anyway, a lot of people won't buy Doctor Who magazine specifically because of him. He's a good writer. I'll read his work. I don't mind. I'll read Paul Cornell's work. I mean, okay. I'm not going to say, oh, no, you suddenly got bad because you're an arsehole. No, Mozart was also an arsehole. But listen... Ben Cook, not on Mozart level, but just an arsehole in general. In my opinion, I don't want to label that anybody as the objective reality. Although I assume he also has an arsehole, so that would be fair as well. Taking place over pre-production of season 4 right up to the final shots of Tennant's last special between 2007 and 2009. Now, they did 2 versions. The second version had a lot more in it. This uniquely intimate look at Davies' writing process not only gives us insight how RTD approaches writing projects like Doctor Who, but also gives you a chance to discuss the unused and scrapped ideas. The original concept for Years and Years is mentioned in here. I don't remember that. Years and Years started out when it was basically a reaction to Trump, right? And I felt bad for Russell Davies. Like most people, they really believed it, right? And the thing that blows my mind, I just did a review of SFX magazine. They had one reviewer in the reviews talking about like just believing the narrative, the official narrative, which has been so proved wrong. Like, you know, the adults are back in the room, you know, when Biden came back, and everything has been proved wrong, and still absolutely believing it. So Russell Davies believed it as well. I'm not sure. I wonder if he still does. I just think right now, over the next year, I think we're in for a weird awakening as people realize how badly they got it wrong. And I've just noticed that on my own personal life as well. Like friends of mine who are very big in the Biden camp, they're like, oh dear. But anyway, way back in 2008, that RTD could return and retool for a second past the showrunner. Starting with next week one, the next big Doctor, Russell Tovey. 14th Doctor speculation is currently at all-time high with names like Michael Sheen, not a chance in hell, Michaela Cole, God, I hope not, Tanai Miller, I hope not, Ollie Alexander, I hope not mentioned. However, one name that hasn't arisen, which might actually be a strong contender, is Russell Tovey. You're not wrong, right? And that's a... I mean, I like that he's a bloke, okay? I like that he's a bloke. Am I excited for his Doctor? Not really, actually. I think he's a bit too soft, right? I liked him in Being Human, but I don't think he's got that, like, leading man Doctor metal to him, right? You know, which is what they thought of Sylvester McCoy when they first cast him. That's what he had to do in his screen test. Show, like, you know, some doctorist metal. And he did really well, right? I mean, I think that's where the whole talking a Dalek to death thing and talking people to death scenes, you know, came about with the Seventh Doctor. I don't see Russell Tovey having that, right? I see him as a companion. But basically, anybody who played the vampire on Being Human... There was 2 of them, and they would both have been better, right? They would both been better. I actually preferred the second werewolf over him as well. What's it again? Michael Sosha, whatever his name is. I like him a lot. He's although I like This Is England, so I think that's excellent. If you've never seen that, it's really good. Oh my god, that is really good. I think it's really good because it's my era. That's my childhood right there. David made no secret of his love for Tovey in a discussion over the potential 11th Doctor casting. RTD states, Tovey is amazing. I think I would make him the 11th Doctor. Interesting. Since Tovey started in Davis's Years and Years, and again, he just didn't seem to have that metal to me. And his currently upcoming projects are in post-production, making him the perfect time for RTD to nab Tovey if he so wishes. Alternatively, we could look at Davis' choice of actors for in the years since the Writer's Tale, the choice becomes clear. Lydia West is a clear favourite if we're getting bad Russell T Davies, right? If we're getting woke Russell T Davies, yeah. I hope we're not. I think she'll be bad casting as well. She's clearly a favourite RTD, starring in both Years and Years and It's a Sin. She was excellent in both because she was cast really well in both. She could follow in Jodie Whittaker's footsteps as a female doctor, and be the first lead doctor to be played by a black doctor, although Joe Martin's future doctor technically got there first. Why does all this stuff matter to you so much? Like, really? Why can't people just be people? Altogether, based on RTV's creative patterns, the Insight Writer's Tale seems like Russell Tovey and Lydia West are a strong option 14th Doctor. And that's why we're here. What are we getting? Good or bad Russell Davies? However, the third possibility, the return of David Tennant. Yeah, that's a big one. David Tennant's return has been speculated since RTT's announcement, and now rumours are supposedly supporting his idea have emerged. Yeah, they won't die, right? They really won't die. If the goal is to resurrect Doctor Who, which I think the goal is, it makes a lot of sense. But Russell Davies said he wants to be pushing forward, doing something different, right? Then they said, it's going to be a different Doctor. Apparently, Tennant might not return as the 10th Doctor, but a new 14th incarnation for a brief collection of episodes to tie into the 60th anniversary. Initially, many think there's many may think there's little weight to this, but the idea of a Tennant-centric mini-series apparently has appealed to Davies, as he asked Cook, how about a mini-series with Davies in 2010 to get his thoughts on a possible concept as related in the Writer's Tale. It's worth noting that Davies' successor Moffat offered up Series 5 to Tennant for one last outing role. That would have been interesting. And according to Davies, David was thinking about it. Listen, he loves the role. He goes back to it whenever he can. And he looks the part. Cook later mentioned, Dave was thinking about it, Cook later mentioned it as an interesting anecdote from his interview with Catherine Tate. She admitted that had you all been doing another series, she wouldn't have hesitated in signing up for it. Then there was this. This then spurs an echoed emphasis of a Tennant miniseries through a what if reflection. Imagine how incredible a second series with Catherine Tate and David Tennant would be. That's the rumor, isn't it? That is the rumor. Maybe that's where the rumor came from. So who knows? With Davies returning, originally revival producer Phil Carlson back on board, with Julie Gardner and Train Chandler in hand, new production Bad Wolves, it's not out the realm of possibility. Can we get a little bit of news about the music, right? Are we getting Murray Gold back? Please, let's get Murray Gold back. New production Bad Wolf. And I love it's called Bad Wolf Studios as well. Isn't that great? It's not out the realms of possibility. Maybe they could be together for a team up. Maybe Catherine Tate could even show up. It feels like the same rumors going around, isn't it? If there's anything we've learned recently, that anything is possible when it comes to Doctor Who. Yeah, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not going to be something like they're going to end the Jodie run on multiverse nonsense, right? And then we're going to see another David Tennant Doctor, multiversal Doctor. To, like, not dismiss what happened, but, like, not confirm it either, like move away from it. The writer also offers a few notes about who the Doctor's next best mate. You see, originally Donna Noble was not the first choice of season 4's companion. Instead of Penny Carter, that's right, we really got Penny Carter. And the reason we didn't get Penny Carter is because he wrote it. He said, "I'm basically writing Catherine Tate," and Catherine Tate said she liked it so much. So you're like, well, why not? He described Davies as a slightly older northern woman in her mid-30s, the type of person who would have just black coffee in the morning. If it weren't Doctor Who, she would have a cigarette. That's very Penny. Man, I used to love having a cigarette in the morning. I haven't smoked for years, but I used to really enjoy that. The reason Penny's creation at the time was that Davies didn't believe they could convince Tate to return. Didn't even conceive of it, right? the concept moved forward to the point where where an unnamed but marvelous actress with a flair and ability for comedy, but loved by both David and Jane Tranter, was almost offered the role, but then Tate said yes. I wonder who that was. All right, I wonder who that was. As a result, Penny was folded into Donna. Her lovable, charming granddad, Jeff, became, was originally a father before he passed away, became known as Bird and Crib's iconic Wilf. Loved Wilf. I mean, like, I didn't want the guy who played a father to die. He should live a long life, but man, that we got Wilf out of it was one of the best bits of Doctor Who, right? And it really is. Like, and I love that he was there at Tennant's regeneration. It's one of the best regeneration scenes because of Bernard Cribbins. I love Bernard Cribbins, right? You know, I loved when he came onto set for his first story. The what one was it? It was the one where the Voyage of the Damned, right? Voyage of the Damned. He had his own little holly and that he put on his hat and everything. He's just great, okay? I love Bernard Cribbins. Bernard Cribbins has always been great. And again, the real, like, that fusion of great acting and great writing in that episode when they're talking about how, everybody's been transformed into the master, right? It's like, it's my wife who's there, and he's like, best not to think about it, right? But just wonderful, right? Talked about his service in Palestine. Everything about that was sheer class, right? Just fantastic. Not just fantastic TV. Not Doctor Who. That's the punchline. Not just fantastic Doctor Who. It was fantastic TV, which is why it was so successful. So Penny never made it become the clear melancholy shared by Davies when discussing the demise of the characters, evidence that he became attached to Penny, and there was definitely a companion there to explore. Maybe there'll be an alternate. They're saying an alternate Catherine Tate and an alternate David Tennant. Maybe you should be playing Penny Carter. Wouldn't that be crazy, right? While the wonderful Penny Carter does make a cameo in Partners in Crime as a journalist investigating the adipose, given Davis' love for a character, it's possible Davis may draw on the strong northern heroine who was almost brought to life before when it comes to creating season 14's companion. You know who will be great casting for that, who fits that perfectly. It'll be what's the name? Sheridan Smith. Is that Sheridan Smith, right? She was like the companion for the Eighth Doctor. Lucy Miller, was it? Was it Lucy Miller? Lucy Piggott Miller. Fantastic. Okay, she was great. Absolutely loved her. Potential stories. Let's see. That the writer's tale tracks down the development of season 4 and the specials. The first line from the first line written to the final shot recorded. It's a great book. It really is. If you love Doctor Who, I really recommend it. There's some cut episode concept that could hint at potential stories for a 14th Doctor to embark on. I mean, yeah, there was it. Love and Monsters, which people hated. I loved it, okay? I freaking love Love and Monsters. I like Doctor Who. I don't tell you, I just liked it. That was originally a comic strip idea for Doctor Who magazine. This guy who'd been walking around not noticing these great, world-shaping events happen, which I thought was kind of fun, which is essentially the starting point for that. Where the 4 specials from the first one, coming as a potential stories for 14th Doctor. Simply entitled, well, I can't say it, Naughty National Socialists on the German 1930s, a placeholder concept. This episode was a brainchild of Mark Gatiss, who apparently worked well over a year on the script. Wow, it pivoted around World War II as a setting, specifically confined to the Natural History Museum. Oh, I didn't know that. Didn't know it was set within World War II. Doctor would have had to deal with not just monsters on the loose, but a naughty National Socialist from the Germany 1930s strike force invasion at the same time. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Sounds absolutely fantastic. I still want Mark Gatiss somehow to do a big budget Dan Dare series, which will be all like that. Every episode will be like that, I think. However, at the time, Davies was worried about recreating World War II again so soon, given the close proximity to the empty town of Dr. Dances. Interesting idea. Again, he really knows his stuff. He absolutely does. Ultimately, Dark Nazis were, I know, I've now said it, that's it, demonetized. Well, I was already demonetized. Ultimately, I nearly said it again. Oh my god. This is a video. I could edit it out, but I'm not going to. I was replaced by the Fires of Pompeii. Love Fires of Pompeii. There's no Gatta's episode that matches the description, since Davies himself infuses about Gatta's as having one of the wittiest, wildest imaginations in the whole bloody country. I tend to agree with you. I tend to agree with you. So we may see Davies looking to collaborate with Gatta's again. Yes, please, can we see that again? I would really like to see that again, potentially on the very same concept. Likewise, Century House was another fascinating concept episode that eventually was replaced. I would have seen the Doctor appear on a reality show, Jess Haunted, tracking down Ghost of the Mysterious Red Window. Now, I guess I think was it Most Haunted, Jess Haunted? That was a big show at the time. Is it still a big show? I really don't know, right? And they did something very, very similar on Big Finish, basically the same brief. The episode itself would have been a Doctor focus, with the companion sitting at home watching watching it unfolding on television. Great idea, isn't that? That is a great idea. This was written by Tom McRae, best known as book writer and lyricist of Everybody's Talking About Jamie. McRae had written Who episodes before, responsible for Return of the Sidemen, and the revival later penned season 6, A Girl Who Waited. I always thought that was Chris Chibnall for some reason. Wow, that just blew my mind. Okay. Century House was described as a big old abandoned spooky house on the top cliff. Certain rooms would flash back to the 1950s and the 60s. Eventually, Davies replaced it with the basis, the overall tone of 4.7 and 4.8 being comparatively light, fun episodes. Okay. Swapping out for Midnight. Oh, great episode. Love Midnight. A concept that he actually developed 5 years earlier. Proof if we needed it, you don't. That any Doctor Who concept can be revisited down the line. That's very true. What did he develop that for? There's also a large number of unused scripts from Tennant's final years of specials, such as a Star Wars influenced episode described by David as saying outer spacey, wild, whizzy spaceships and lasers and lots of pow. That seems to be where we're heading in entertainment, right? I always point to this, and I hope that this is the case. It's not just my, what I would love to be the case. Is that comedian Steve Martin, became huge in the 70s and the 80s, but mainly his comedy became huge because he saw everything was so political in the late 60s, and he said people just want to have fun, and that's what it was. It was just like goofy fun, like King Tut, that sort of thing. Probably not allowed now. It would see the Doctor get caught in a spaceship dogfight, materializing right in the middle, and forced to get involved. The companion would have been a fierce female fighter pilot fighting against the Chenolians. He would have put the Monitor. Man-sized tortoise race from Gareth Roberts' 19th novel, The Higher Science. Well, that's not happening. Okay, Gareth Roberts has no interest in getting involved in Doctor Who. Right? Whoa, just zero interest. Right. In the writer's tale, Davies says, I'd love the Doctor to join the battle with some sort of weapon-stopping device on board. So everywhere he flies, zipping in and out, he jams the engines and guns, effectively neutralizing the whole conflict. That's very Russell Davies, isn't it? Given Doctor Who's budget back in 2007, Voyager the Dam cost about $128,000 and was considered $35,000 over budget. That's all? It's got to be more than that. It's got to be more than $128,000. What? It's got to be like $1 million an episode. What? Okay, I don't think those figures can be right. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Before production began, this isn't a concept they could have pulled off easily back in 2000. However, the production has a major upgrade since then, allowing for grander, bolder, and more adventurous concepts and more CG heavy. Listen, if Sony's smart, and I believe they are, they're going to build themselves one of those Mandalorian sets, or a bunch of them with a giant LCD backdrops, right? That like move with the camera. Now his Dark Materials creators, Bad Wolf, are coming on board with Davies, and TV CGI is more impressive than ever. This could be the moment in history for that story to come to fruition. That would be fantastic. Another curious concept that was dropped, entitled Empty Hotel. Well, that sounds like the God Complex, right? Which was a great episode, wasn't it? See, there's so much good Doctor Who, right? And that's why, honestly, I think we're getting good Rusty Davies. That's what I'm hoping for. It would have featured an old grandmotherly companion finding themselves in a deserted hotel. She goes back to the room, empty, foyer empty, goes outside, streets, London, deserted. Judi Dench or Helen Mirren were eyed for the role, believing that we could maybe get Helen Mirren if we planned far in advance. With Judi Dench revealed, there was a definite interest from Dench, and I'd love to see her see the Doctor with an older companion. Did you see her face when she was suggested she would be the Doctor? It's like, what? But how? That's stupid. Okay, you're right, Judy. That's why we love you. It would transpire that these weird, spindly, 8-legged creatures with human torsos had frozen Earth for a second to make their own personal carnival. Okay, Tone of the episode be described as a bit magical, a sinister fairy tale. Well, he has said Moffat said that he wants to make it super scary, right? The tone of the episode was described as a bit magical and a sinister fairy tale. This sounds a brilliant, creepy concept, creepy episode of Doctor Who. The idea is clearly the most fleshed out of all the episodes. Concept discussion within the writer's cell. Judi Dench might not want to be the Doctor, but who knows? She could still be a companion. That would be great. And again, I'm surprised it's a shame they never really did that with Colin Baker and Evelyn Smythe. That was great having an older companion. Returning monsters. There's a picture of the special toy maker there. Wow, would I love to see that? Right? That's a not with Chibnall. No, not with him. Oh man, I'm gonna refill that after this video. Boy, yeah, but I love the Celestial Toy Maker. It's really worth listening to the Nightmare Fair from Big Finish, which had David, whatever his name is, Blally, played the K9 2 at one point, and the bad guy from Robots of Death as the toy maker. Yeah, listen, but I think that'll be great for coming back. When Davies revived the series, he brought back let's be honest, right? He brought back the Daleks very tentatively. He brought back the Autons, but didn't really focus on them being Autons. And that was it, right? It was very, very classic light that first year. You've got the Cyberman head, and I can't think of anything else, right? Because he was worried about, leading too much on the past, but he saw how much people liked it, and that's how it ended up like 70-30. 70% new, 30% classic. So he revised it. He brought back the Dalek Cybermen, Autons, Macra. Again, when you can slot them in easily. Master, Time Lords, Rassilon, and Gallifrey itself. You make it sound like that was all in the first 5 minutes. No, they built up to that slowly, right? So it's quite likely we'll see more classic Who return in this new run. So what can we expect? As David himself says, thank goodness for Doctor Who's rich history. There's a wealth of ideas to draw from in a crisis. That is true. During development of Season 4, Davies considered the Sister of Khan, the Seeker from the Ribos operation, the Fortune Teller from Snake Dance as possible appearances. Well, that would have been interesting. I was always disappointed that Colony Saf was not Namara. I think that would have worked so much better. Really, I was always disappointed about that. Well, the Sister of Khan will go on to return under Moffat's tenure, and really well, right? I really loved their return. I thought that was done excellently. Davies' proclivity for trawling through the never-ending toy box of Doctor Who's classic villains gives us possible insight into the eras Davies might be looking at to revisit for the modern generation. So who knows? If Davies did reconfigure the scrapped empty hotel idea, into a new full-on adventure. It stands to reason the person behind such a creepy carnival could be the celestial toy maker. So actually, that idea of them watching a TV show, right? Watching a TV show, they could really transpose that into a companion watching TikTok videos, right? And I really think social media integration is everything in this new era, right? I think synergy, right? It's got, what they call it again? Transmedia. That is what he's developing with this. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that concept. That sounds like something that could really work. Look for things that would work in normal concepts, in regular Britain, and I think that's why Stephen Moffat did so well. You know, he made a crack in the wall villain, right? And he did it really well. He made a statue of villain that we will see everywhere. A fan favorite whose debut story was sadly lost due to sketchy story procedures of the BBC. It's a kitschy playfulness of the toy maker that Davies could easily work with reintroducing the omnipotent immortal and with a penchant for games to modern audiences. Yeah, listen, look to see what is popular in media right now. What do people do? What do people watch? I think they mainly watch YouTube. You know, they much more than anything else. Or YouTube and TikTok. I think that's really what that's what I think will be the template for the future moving forward. David then mentioned that Robert Holmes, as his favorite classic Who writer in the past, and very influential mythos, he created the Nesting Consciousness, the Autons, the Master, Sarah Jane Smith, the Sontarans, and Rassilon. And he did pretty darn good with all of them. As some may notice, there's a considerable overlap between concepts Holmes created and Davies reintroduced. So we could see. So what could be drawn from Holmes's mythology that could fit with current Doctor Who? Key to Time, that's true. White and Black Guardian. Season 12 and 13 dealt heavily with the disruption of time itself, reintroducing a subgroup of Gallifreyans known as Shabugans. Well, you know, the whole point of that was it was reflecting the much like today. Well, I think less so than today, but I wasn't there at the time. The shaking of faith in institutions. It was like the whole Manchurian Candidate sort of thing. That's why it was so cool, right? Where you had the Time Lords, Gallifrey was considered to be an institution, right? It's something that people looked up to and respected. And then suddenly he totally reinvented by making them completely corrupt. And much like we know that institutions really are today, right? So I can totally see something like that going on, right? Because I just believe over the next year we are going to see all our institutions collapse. Everything we believe in, I think we're going to, and I think that's something that's going to reflect onto. I mean, I hope it's not going to collapse enough that they can't make this Doctor Who, because I really hope they are. But certainly, I think the belief in it, the belief in institutions, has never been lower, right? And those who do believe in them fanatically, despite the evidence of their own eyes, despite their lying eyes and their own lying ears, right? Shabugans, given the nature of the Doctor as the timeless child, I don't think we're going to. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it's going to have anything to do with the Chibnall run. Would it be out to consider the Ribos operation as something that Davies might take influence to tie up that complicated thread? How did the Ribos operation do that? That was a delightful standalone tale with a weirdly inserted Key to Time segment into it. But had great Robert Holmes double acts. I love Ribos operation. The nature of writing is a fundamentally fluid process, and that's true. The more it's fluid, the better it is. The less fluid it gets, the more stale ideas become. This example I've used many times before. You've seen the first season of The Sopranos, which is breathtaking and revolutionary. The idea it was built around was that the Tony Soprano's, this mafia boss's psychiatrist is able to diagnose his mother wanting to have him bumped off, and which was the central part of that first season. And that was the first idea. And that was the only thing in that season that seemed a bit stale. I mean, everything else was like very, very, very fluid, right? Very alive. But that seemed a bit stale. Ideas go stale. So there is that. Unless there's a way to like refresh it, the ideas will be stale if they're using old ones. But there's no possible way of predicting which of Davies' ideas, which ideas Davies will return to. And which you'll leave behind. That's true. He may decide to wipe the ball clean and start completely fresh. I don't know. I think he's going to have some touchstones of things he loved about Doctor Who. Even if it's a reboot, I think we're going to have the touchstones of things he loved about Doctor Who. Running a production as large as Doctor Who often requires the on-the-fly big adjustments and alterations at the 11th hour, often glimpsed in the writer's tale. Yeah, there was a great gag in the Christmas Invasion about in was it World War III? You had that wonderful effect shot where the Slitheen ship, or it wasn't really, it was a ship owned by the Slitheen, crashes into Big Ben before it crashes into the Thames. What a great effect shot! And people say the effects are so much better in the current series. No, that was fantastic. So they had this whole plot point in Christmas Invasion about the reopening of Big Ben, right? And you had this civil servant who was rushing, very fussing around everything about it. And then when the cigarettes arrived, they had these wings that folded out, and then knocked out Big Ben again, like did it again, and some of the debris fell on that civil servant. But they cut that out, right? They cut that out. But maybe they'll put that back in. Who knows? But yeah, that was an 11th hour adjustment. Right, again, really worth reading the writer's tale. However, no matter what, it seems that RTD always knows when he has a gem of an idea. That's true, and keeps it in a safe place, waiting for him to open it back up, dust it off. I mind a Hojack, for example, dust it off and find a new home for it. Just like the Doctor's escapades, sometimes the best way to understand the future of Doctor Who is by travelling back to the past, or at least reading about it. And I'm telling you, I do enjoy reading about it. Listen, I see the picture of the toy maker, I'm like, yes, give me a bit of that. That'd be fan-freaking-tastic. What Russell T Davies are we going to get? That is the question. Is it going to be good Russell T Davies or bad Russell T Davies? Who knows? Or dares to dream? I guess we're going to find out soon, right? But, you know, it's an interesting time in history, that great unknown. You know, we're in that Schrodinger's box right now of possibilities. Who knows, or dares to dream what could happen next? I'm just excited about it, really. I am excited about it. I'm optimistic. Hopefully I won't be crushed by that, okay? Hopefully that won't backhand me down into a nub. But I don't think it will. I guess we'll find out. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.